Let's make some noise. Come on. Let's get up. Because we're having several seconds before the beginning. Why is it so boring? Let's make some noise. Come on, come on. Yeah, come on. Hello, everyone. How's your mood? Well, it seems to me a bit bored. I could see the first row. You're at barometer, guys. I didn't understand why your mood is not that well. Who wants to have some health now? Come on up to us. You will help us. This is the main stage. Later on, it will be cut off the footage. So you should begin, and we will start over too. We'll do that simultaneously with you. Come on, pour it down. So. So everything is ready. You can have less but quicker. So guys, hello, my name is, his name is Anton Bezverkhov, and his name is Dmitry Korolev, and we are the representatives of Barmaglot Bar in Kazakhstan. Who's been at our spot yesterday downstairs? Everyone was there, so did you like it? So we are a very young bar. We're only 2 years old. We're not in top 50 bars of the world. So we came today to boost a bit and to tell you about what we managed, what we coped with during those 2 years. We've conducted several steps, which in our opinion can help you in your work, because we'll tell you about our team, we'll tell you how we started off, what's happened to us when we chose a concept, after the half a year, and we'll tell you about the first failure, because we came here not only to boast, we will share the experience, well, not of defeat, but still of trial and error, right? So we'll tell you how we chose our strategy of development, and we'll tell you about the steps we conducted for that, and we'll tell you about the results which we managed to achieve. Let's begin with the show. If you don't know where Kazakhstan is, look at the map. Kazakhstan is in the center of Eurasia. We are equally distant from the European countries. So it's a bit problematic for us to bring something up or to have guest ships with the foreign speakers. So during 2016, Kazakhstan had only one cocktail bar. Before that, not a single person was interested in the cocktail industry as it is. So 2016, there was only bar, and then there is the Barmaglot Bar, which is 12.5 meters of bar, and 30 seats, 15 of each side, and non-standard bar. This premises is not a loft design. It was just an abandoned premises. The bar was poured with concrete and done with concrete, and it's on the level of the guests. For barmans, it was a kind of a shock because the bar was a bit higher and all the working stations were a bit further. So this is the staircase which connects us to the second floor. We have two transition and cigar room there, which is separated from the whole premises. You can just have this kind of a lonesome atmosphere. You can smoke a cigar or have a delicious bar. This is a separate premises inside of the big bar. Our start took place with the best bartenders we found at the market, 8 people who knew by heart all the classic cocktails. They could quote, in fact, any page of the cocktail book. And in fact, there were kind of stars at the market, the stars. So our first menu, molecular foams and infusions, we ordered the ingredients at AliExpress. We waited for each ingredient for half a year because those were complicated cocktails. This is how it looked like. This is a molecular caviar. Complicated names in the menu. The guests just came, ordered that, they tasted it, and in 2016 there was the only bar. So when we opened, everybody wanted to get to us. Just look. Those were our first attempts with smoke guns, with freezers, our first attempts when we created molecular ice cream. We went to Kiev and we started at school. As for molecular technologies and the serving foresaw such an unusual non-standard approaches, I would even say two non-standard approaches, foam kits, textures, and different foams. We considered at the moment that it's very cool and it will work. Those were unusual servings with some kind of an entourage which was compulsory there, and extravagant serving. Dmitry will tell you what was that. Well, we wanted to surprise everyone. We are so cool. We came to Barometer. Now we know everything and we know how to make cool cocktails. So such servings were at that time. But I would like to remind you that Barmaglad Bar is 250 seats, so we had the first failure, which, honestly speaking, had to take place. All the ingredients we ordered were in the stop list eventually, because we wanted to surprise, and we were surprised ourselves, how we can use what's everything which is not at the market. We had to acquire that and to wait for such a long time. We didn't have enough of the dishes. Who faces the situations of stealing of tiki dishes? Yeah, wonderful. We had the same problem. Our tiki dishes were just coming to the bags of our guests and left home. I don't know what they did at home with that. And maybe one more problem we faced. Everybody remembers the star team you saw, which transformed into Bambini team. Those were the guys who became totally unmanageable. They had their own huge ambitions, sometimes they got offended, and that's why they served not guests, but only their own cocktails. This is the schedule of visits of our bar by our guests. As Anton said, we opened as a cocktail bar, which used to be the only cocktail bar. We were the second bar at the market, so everybody was just interested who we are, what we're doing, what we're surprising with, what we are mixing. So this is the number of visits of the guests a month. And this is the number of cocktails we managed to sell. So the maximum amount is 3,642 cocktails a month. All the rest is just beer, drinks, wine, spirits, and all the rest. And as Anton said, our star team transformed into this Bambini team. But we did not fall into despair. We had guys who supported us, and today they are our speakers. I'm sure you know all of them: Ivan Shushkanov, Igor Zernov, Danil Nevsky, Artem Peruk. Who doesn't know them? Everybody knows them perfect. Those guys showed us a totally different schedule of development, a totally different ways to achieve aims. And as a result, the Barmaglad Bar has become an epicenter of the events. It attracted all the bartenders from the whole country. We had new workshops conducted in a bit different format, because before that, when the speakers came, the workshops had mandatory welcome drinks, and everybody who wanted visited them. And in 10 minutes, you do understand, there was a whole chaotic situation. People were just smoking, drinking welcome drinks, and just communicating with each other. With our new mentors, Dmitry has mentioned, the situation has changed. People had to register, and now they have to register for the workshop. Not a single welcome drink, but water, coffee, or tea, and not a single smoking place, but only attention to the speakers. And also we had the second zone, which had the one table of 8 people. So thanks to our speakers, they prompted us that this is the zone which can bring more money bring more revenue, and it can be a totally different concept of the bar, because we had the ground floor, the long bar with high seats, and we had the bartenders who were working there, but the second floor has been transformed into conceptual bar, which was more conservative, more classical. It divided our zone into two bars, bisected it, the bar for parties and the bar to have a seat, to drink alcohol, to communicate with the guests without any haste. This is how the zone looks like now. In the far corner, we had only one table with 8 seats. And, of course, secondly, our second menu, because we were starting in our own, we had our own errors. So guests who are always drinking Cuba Libre will never drink French's 75 or Sazerac. So we interpreted classical cocktails, but as you see, with the prefix "à la," which provided the same Negroni but a bit sweeter, or the classic Cosmopolitan but with strawberries and popcorn, for instance. And our menu finally looked like this. Only seasonal berries, not a single complicated name, vegetables which can be found at the markets. This is the minimum of garnish, which you can see here. So the simplicity of serving, understandably comprehensible flavors, and the questions from the guests, what's that and how it should be drunk, just vanished. We had only to present it, to serve it, and to explain this understandable flavor. But to serve all of those cocktails, do not forget about this great amount of guests here, the great flow of guests. So we had to open the service zone, which consists of 2 cocktail stations, the stations with hot drinks and the station where the cocktails are mixed. Thus, our bar has begun its transformation process into the factory of cocktails manufacturing. As you could see, the cocktails were done in 100% pre-mix. What did it give it to us? Those are the advice of our mentors. You've seen them before. At the different floors, when we had a full house, the guest had the same cocktail. There were no mistakes of the different tastes at the summer part and the second floor. There was no confusion anymore. And such draft systems and slash devices which were used totally different after that. In the slash devices we made some non-alcoholic things, and in draft cocktails we were cooking and mixing Aperols and gin tonics by glass. So Balmorglade Bar is in the shopping mall, so we have the promenade in the only playground. So we managed to use this space to provide additional seating places. We were allowed to set up small tables, sometimes just barrels, which had the surface on them, and so this promenade has been transformed into the summer terrace, which during the peak days was filled up to 1,500 people, which allowed us to create one more atmosphere beyond the bar. And as you can see, this is the European style, no leathern couches or sofas. Those are only barrels and the guests are drinking cocktails. Just look. This is how it looked like at one of the Wednesdays. We had a kind of a flash mob because we always shot the seats from the second floor. And of course, 2 mobile stations you can see here. They're totally mobile because they have an additional pump and electrical shaker. So the bartenders had only to meet the guest and to give whatever he or she needs. So just here, Danila Nevsky at the picture and Alex Rollins, they just mixed their cocktails. As for the bars, they are set up in the different places depending on the event. And when we have a very big event, we are mixing our cocktails in some bottles like this, or a kind of a vessel. So the only thing the bartender has to do is to present and to serve it. It does not take any time. He doesn't have to cook it or to mix it. So this is one of the parties, our birthday of the bar. And the little contest for you. Who has an iPhone here? Well, I can see we are not in Kazakhstan. If I asked about an iPhone, everybody would say we are having, because everybody is using iPhone 12 already. We have really nice cases which we are ready to give you. Okay, now we can see iPhone owners. Sure, let us make the following. We're having a short video reel. So this wonderful young man with the name of Yevgeny will mix the Negroni cocktail. How long will he mix this cocktail? 3 You're overestimating. He is not a Superman.
7, 20, 22. How many? 15? 17. 10, 15, 17, 10. Okay, let's go. Let's see now. So, which one? Yes, that's it. Catch it, catch it, catch it. Who's at 17? Yes, you were the closest. Take this. Afterwards, yeah, we'll exchange it. Okay, see here, we have more cases here, but before we put on the following video, let us all get up. Just really get up. I mean, everybody looks kind of sad. It's the third morning. Yeah, I mean, I understand. It's the third morning of the barometer show. We are not going to have a giveaway. We'll simply give you these cases, and while the video is playing, let's have our favorite. Let's wave your hands. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Let's move it, let's move it. Yeah, Aperol. Aperol Spritz it was, yeah. That's great. 15 seconds for an Aperol. And implementing all these technologies and working with all recommendations from the mentors, we got this kind of chart. Yes, we have two types of cases now. There is a new one, and there is something that we gave last year. Except the Kazakh people, please don't say anything, because no, who is going to say how many cocktails we sold a month in the peak month by number? Who said 15? Great job. You can choose now. That was July and August. Those were the peak months for us at that moment. We sold 15,000 cocktails that month. And now we're going to get more cases out. Okay. Well, we promised to tell about our team, Barbaglot team. Please get up. Where are you? Here they are. This is our team. And now imagine the best bartenders who are the brand ambassadors of our bar. It is their personal page, which is their actual instrument. They're the instrument of the bar. The guys who are inside all the processes, this is also the way that they keep their Instagram pages. I think this is the best example how a bartender should look. On this photo, you see the whole team of Barbaglot Bar. These are the guys who, as I said, at the peak moments, they can service up to 1,500 people. And all these results were the way so that we actually put some ambitious plans before us. We had plans to win all local competitions that were there, and actually we managed that. Up to 90% of local Kazakh competitions were won by our team, by our guys. And as a result, we got an award, which actually is a great delight for us. This is the best bar team, according to Neon Shaker. You probably know about this award. The best CIS team in 2017. And just 3 weeks ago, we arrived and got one more interesting and great news. We won in one nomination. So we were nominated in 3, but we won in Bar Profi as the best bar in a restaurant. Thanks. Thank you. I'm actually the responsible one for the charts. There's just one more I'm not going to show you anymore. That's for 2018. These are the visits, and that's the number of cocktails. So as of our opening, there was just one bar. As of today, I think we actually made our contribution. There are 13 bars. Respect to all bars, we love them. So we have those guests who love us, who appreciate us for what we do. And every guest presently drinks cocktails in Bar Maglot. And we also needed a product which we could use to go out into the national market. Everybody was laughing and said, we don't have products like that. But thanks to our mentor, Danila Nevsky, we started by trial and error studying a local ingredient which is called kumis, which is a sour milk of horses. We arrived actually last year. We experimented on people, crude though it may sound, and these are the pictures. This is the way people tasted all that, and we experimented with cocktails. So as a result, we had a happy result. This is Kulager cocktail, which is translated as the horse winner winning in all nominations. Who was in Barometer last year? Who tried Kulager? 3 people. What about the others? Okay. And well, the result was still there, so we came to Barometer in 2017 with this cocktail. We also had guest bartending in Dog and Tails, thanks to Maxim. Dog and Tails, are you there? No? Tell them we said hi. They are some cool guys. And as further development has shown, we actually went around with this cocktail a lot. We went to Tbilisi, we went to St. Petersburg, to Moscow. We also went everywhere we could. Yeah, we went to Bishkek as well. Well, yeah, of course. And they wrote about us in Tales of the Cocktail, and thanks, Daniil. I think you see me now. Thanks for publishing our article on your website, Cocktails for You, and also published our picture on his Instagram page, Cocktail for You. And you can't imagine how many questions we had. What is that milk? And how do you use that? Well, we had to move on, and this year, as you probably know, I'm going to tell you about it. I will tell you about our cocktail menu today. Now we have 12 cocktails on our menu. All these cocktails have very simple ingredients. All these cocktails have very simple names. This is just our interpretation. As I was saying, just classic cocktails, gin and tonic, but you see just this unusual color. It's on Thai chrysanthemum. These are very clear ingredients, no complicated descriptions. As you see, this beautiful glass, as little decoration as possible, and clear, understandable taste that you can get. Yes, this is Butterfly Negroni. Yes, it is a bit different from others. Then we also did something that actually we started from a different way. See, to the left there is pomegranate in it, and there is mojito. There was an interpretation. It is made in a totally different way, and its taste is very understandable, but we can serve it in a non-standard way, thanks to that. And in the future, this year we actually came to you to surprise you. We have some camel milk. That's a small story. We didn't upload the video. You can watch the video in our bar. So this is our team who went to the camel farm. Actually, it is the second biggest in the world. I mean, the camel farm. I think the first one is in United Arab Emirates, and the second biggest one is in Kazakhstan. So we had some research work studying this product. This is the research work going on. And as a result, we got 2 cocktails which we brought to Barometer 2018. This is Asian Bloody Mary that Cocktails for You also wrote about, and this is Sahara Dessert cocktail. Who tried that already? You have? No, you haven't? If you haven't, tonight is the last chance when you can do that, or you'll have to go to Kazakhstan to do that. Yes, they use stock as a basis. This is the third one. We haven't tried that, yes. Okay, and we also have production of our own ice, and we produce our chips. We actually, we freed up our barman who had less tasks now because we have a separate workshop where it is all made. And the second factor is actually we don't have any waste. The powders and the chips that you see actually really help us to simplify the process, and all the other ingredients that we use as well. Can I ask you, actually, can you give out the guys who you like? Yes. As Anton was saying, we have very ambitious plans for today. We are not there or here, as you can see, not in those rankings, but really want to make it there. And also we hope that we'll achieve this with your support, and maybe the following year we're going to come and boast that, you know, we're in top 50. And we are from Kazakhstan. I don't know other representatives of this company here, but on behalf of our bar, I'd like to say thanks. Thanks to Diageo for this whole year we were able to bring speakers from different countries, and we could enable our bartenders from whole Kazakhstan to get information. And we shared this information with everyone. We weren't hiding it, we weren't saying this was all ours. So thanks to this company, we're today on the stage in front of you, and it's thanks to this company that we are over there downstairs in the bar, and we enable you to look at Kazakhstan culture through the prism of bar art. And the final video. So thanks to all of you for coming here. I understand it's the third day. It's really hard. Yesterday, we had this 100% bar trip. We love all of you. From Kazakhstan, with love. Bar Maglot Bar is with you. Thanks.